Hello everyone. I hope most of you are acquainted with the concept of a bad bank. A bad bank is a corporate structure which isolates liquidity and high risk assets held by a bank or a financial organization. Suppose in an XYZ bank, a large number of loans are turning into bad loans. Now, due to this increased number of bad loans, the risk is increasing, resulting in downward valuation of the bank and thus lower share prices and overall loss making scenario. Now, to recover those bad loans, XYZ Bank can follow the IBC route, which is the official way of doing it, or can simply hire recovery agents to recover the loan amount, which sometimes turns ugly. However, there is one more official way of doing that. By creating a bad bank and giving it enough powers so that it can apply any mechanism to recover that bad loan. We can compare a bad bank with those asset management or asset reconstruction companies that we have studied about so many times. A bad bank basically helps segregate bad assets from good assets. The goal of this segregation is to allow investors to assess the bank's financial health with greater certainty. Along with the segregation, a bad bank structure permits specialized management to deal with the problem of bad debt. This approach allows good banks to focus on their core business of lending, while the bad bank specializes in maximizing the value from those high-risk assets. It was during the financial crisis of 2008 when such bad banks were established in many countries to do what they do. The reason why I am discussing bad banks in such detail is that there is an article in the Economic Times today related to bad banks. The title is Why India Should Have a New Bad Bank. So let's read to find out what this article has for us about bad banks. Why India should have a new bad bank. Let the banks together set up the entity. The proposal for a new bad bank has been doing the rounds at least since 2018, but has stalled on the vital question of who would own it. If something is doing rounds, it is being discussed or talked about frequently. Stalled here means unable to proceed or being stuck. There already are 20 odd private asset reconstruction companies, and these have been unable to buy bad loans off the banks on any large scale. To buy off means to get rid of a claim by payment, basically to settle by payment. Now, sometimes in other contexts, it also means to bribe, but not here. Why assume that one more private bad bank would be any more effective? So the main question is, who would be the owner of the new bad bank? Would it again be a private company because there are already many doing the same job? Or would it be a state-sponsored government-owned company? Or would it be the banks themselves? The answer is written in the subheading of this article. Let the banks together set up the entity. Let's read further to find out why. On the other hand, if the state sponsors the new bad bank, it would amount to a state-directed shuffling of bad assets from one state-owned entity to another with no clarity on the pricing of deals. Now, that idea of a government-owned bad bank has its problems. A government-owned bad bank will buy off bad assets from a government-owned bank. What's the logic in this? Where is the scope of profit or better pricing of the bad assets? Hope you're getting this. The solution is to create a bad bank sponsored by the major banks, public as well as private. If such a bad bank buys assets cheaper than normal, its profits would be larger than normal, but would go back to the banks themselves, making it more palatable. If something is palatable, it is acceptable or satisfactory, often because it tastes good. This part of the paragraph tells us exactly why this new bad bank should be owned by the banks themselves. The name bad bank is deceptive. It should serve more as an asset management cum project execution agency to resolve the bad loans it buys from banks. Many of the bad loans on bank books are inherently viable projects given a haircut to reduce bloated project costs. A haircut is a less than optimal valuation of an asset, basically a discount on the loan repayment. Bloated is similar to inflated. What these lines means is that not all bad loans are actually bad. Many of these bad loans are viable projects whose project costs have increased and given a haircut can actually spring back and become a PA or a performing asset. Many real estate projects got stuck for want of liquidity. From a market without a supplier of long-term project finance, real estate depending on NBFCs that rolled over commercial paper to finance their short-term loans. So remember in the statement before this one, the editor mentioned how some projects with inflated costs need a haircut or a discount on loan. The best example of such projects has been quoted here, real estate. They are dependent on NBFCs for their finances, which provide short-term loans, but what they actually need are long-term loans. Power projects are victims of states' reluctance to force consumers to pay for the power they consume. For the Indian economy's post-COVID recovery, politics has to stop patronizing power theft and power giveaways, and a bond market has to be created so that the long gestation projects can finance themselves with long-term bonds. If these conditions are met, a bad bank will become feasible. Reluctance means unwillingness to do something or not wanting to do something. To patronize is to give support, and long gestation projects are such projects that have a long time period of giving returns. So another example of bad assets has been quoted, power projects, and the do's and don'ts have been suggested. Banks must be free to lend for growth to pick up. Burdened as they would be with bad loans running to 13 to 14 lakh crore rupees post-COVID, banks will not lend unless they can park their bad loans with someone without being accused of selling the assets off too cheap. A bad bank, collectively owned by the banks in proportion to their bad loans, would blunt the criticism. It must be given a chance. So bad loans post-COVID are estimated to be around 13 to 14 lakh crore rupees. And another fact is that banks need to lend for growth to pick up. So a mechanism needs to be chalked out where banks don't feel guilty about lending freely. There should be an entity that is there to take this back-end responsibility of making the best out of the NPAs, hence the bad bank. It must be given a chance. So this was today's editorial about the need for a new bad bank in India. I hope you understood the concepts and the article well. Feel free to get your questions answered by me if any. Also, please attempt the questions in the description box of this video for more clarity. This is me signing off for today. Thank you for watching. You take care of yourself. Stay in and stay safe.